Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crush That Exam Success Stories. My name is Dr. Erica Liggins, licensed clinical psychologist and founder and CEO of Crush That Exam program. Today, we have an alumni who is here to share their amazing story of how they overcame the EPPP. So, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you're located, where you went to school, and a little bit about who you are?
Sure. My name is Angela Fisher. I am located in Washington, D.C. I went to school at the American School of Professional Psychology at Argosy University. That's why I came here. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I am happy to have crushed that exam with the help of Dr. Erica Liggins. I do appreciate all her help in it. Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so happy to see you on the other side of this. It's truly amazing. And being a busy mama, you got lots on your plate. So it's so good to put this behind you so you can focus back on family and work and life and do all the things that you want to do. So please tell the world, what was your experience like with trying to pass this exam before you found out about our program? Like, how many times did you take it? Just what was your overall experience like?
It was tough. It was definitely tough. It was exhausting, frustrating, all the things. Trying to, with a lot of folks, right, juggle, you're working. I have a daughter, so juggling parenting, juggling just life stuff, and having the time to really focus and what you really have to do and give your all into this studying, so that you can be successful and pass the exam. Um, yeah, geez, I think did reach out when I first started studying. And I then started and it was overwhelming. And so I took kind of a step back and dabbled a little bit. Then I came back in. Still kind of disappointed. Sometimes you take the practice exams and you're disappointed by what you see and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'll never pass this thing. You say all the negative things that pop in your head. Did reach back out, and more of a concrete structured study plan that was implemented by Crush That Exam really did help me kind of move through the steps. So it wasn't so overwhelming, and knowing like the proper steps to take. And eventually it did happen for me. It can happen for anyone. It's patience and kind of doing your due diligence with it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to normalize all of this. So you started the process. We initially, very early stages of working together, we started the process, but this is a very common thing. The whole thing just was so overwhelming and intimidating,
Hmm.
just going about studying. And so you went back into yourself kind of and tried to figure it out on your own, and it wasn't quite working out for you. And then the stars aligned, we reconnected, and I was like, "Hey, Angela, what's going on? How you doing over there? I'm worried about you." And you kind of let me know, "Hey, yeah, I really do need the help." And we brought you back in, and then we were able this time to do the full program. Like, we really went through the entire Crush That Exam program. You started doing group coaching. We did some individual sessions as well, supplemented in there. And so, what do you think was different when you came back to the program the second time? And like, what ultimately do you feel like, what changed for you, and how was the program helpful once you really dove into it that second time and fully did it? What did you find helpful?
Um, I really, well, it after, trying to do things kind of my way and realizing like I wasn't moving forward, my practice exams weren't increasing. I was struggling still with, some content areas. Um, and just realizing like I can ask for help too. Sometimes that's very hard for me,
Yeah,
asking for
it's
help.
hard for helpers. We love to help everybody else, but sometimes we
True.
don't know how to receive it for
That's true.
ourselves, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did ask for help. And just knowing like, hey, I got to get this done. I know that it, just speaking positively, putting that out there, trying not to use a lot of negative thought content that is very easy to do, saying, I can do this. I just have to kind of go in it, get the help I need, move forward and crush that exam. And I did. I did it. And when I got I guess the structure, the snowball method, which really did help, learning like different strategies on, how specifically to study, right? Like what can you do to lessen the anxiety, where you should study, how you should study, like the, meeting with you saying, okay, you did this domain. Okay, well, let's flip it. Let's do that domain. You checking out and asking about the specific scores and kind of given your experience, like, okay, well, given what I'm seeing here, perhaps you can move to this stage. That was really helpful because I would not have been able to come up with that on my own. So in just hearing that really helped me kind of progress through things. So I hope that answered the question. Okay.
Absolutely. The structure, having a set plan, the
Mhm.
snowball study method is our trademarked method that we use here. Developed it over 10 years ago when I took the exam, and it helped me crush it, and it's helping a lot of other people crush it too. So the structure of that, there are distinct phases with distinct goals and periods of time where we're focusing on certain things, and then we move through the phases. So it's very, very, very structured and really helps people who have struggled to pass the test to really find a sense of footing in this process. Because when you're doing it by yourself, you just feel like a blob. You don't know if you're coming or going. And then adding in the mindset stuff, really helping you to challenge those negative thoughts, really building your self-esteem back up around this test and your belief in yourself that you could do it. And then once we started the practice exams, we also have a very structured approach there too, right? Where you have to do the tests and we do a breakdown and analysis. It's very structured. And I think that also built your confidence too, because we were to see where we needed to tweak and you just improved so much. And you were doing quite well on those practice exams. Then I remember the day when I was like, oh, yeah, you're good to go. And you were like, really?
Uh-huh.
You
Are
were
you
pretty,
sure?
you
Yeah.
were like, are you sure? I'm like, oh, I'm sure you were ready. That was amazing. So, how long did we? So, the second go around, like again, the first time we just did the initial meeting, but then the second time around, can you remind me how long did we work together?
Okay. So I think I came like maybe that fall. So I'm gonna throw it like maybe like in October, November, December, January, March. So what do we have? It's about 5 to 6 months, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And, as a busy working parent, we made sure that we came up with a schedule that worked for you as a busy mom of still a very young child
Mhm.
who needs a lot of time and attention. And so we found a really good balance, and you got this thing done in 6 months, which was great, fantastic. So, what do you think was now that, hindsight's 2020, we can kind of look back, what do you think the hardest thing was about this whole entire journey?
There's actually many things that were pretty hard. I'm trying to like the kicker.
Top three.
Um, Patience, not giving up, right? That you want to give up so many times. You want to like, throw the books at the wall, say screw
Burn
this,
it all.
burn it all, right? All yes, absolutely. But just yeah, staying at it and knowing like I've got to stick with this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. That is a hard piece, right? The negative self-talk. I had a lot of that. Like if I didn't get a good practice score, oh my gosh, you are so dumb. Just calling myself all types of names like why don't you get this? You should what is wrong with you? You're
Mhm.
never gonna pass that exam. So that was probably in my top three, the negative self-talk. Patience, that would be number, that's in the top three. And then, another is just I guess it kind of aligns with it all, staying the course and just taking a deep breath, reaching out for help when needed. That was big. Um, Talking through it, so yeah, asking for help, staying the course, and that negative self-talk. Those are probably the big three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Nobody tells you like this end of the journey studying for the EPPP is like a little mini marathon within a marathon that you've already been doing for like a decade, right? Between undergrad and the program and everything, right? And the emotional part of it, the staying motivated, dealing with the self-talk, the
Mhm.
fear, and the patience, because high achievers, they want everything right now. And when you're already so tired and you're so done and you just wish all this was over, and then you've got to do another, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of intense studying, it's like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be over? But
Right.
you held the course and you stuck with it, and it was so fun to really get the opportunity to help you and to watch it all come together so beautifully, and you crushed it so easily. So, looking back, if you could do anything different, would there be anything that you would have changed about your journey and how you went about it?
Um, Probably sticking with the help would have helped me a lot, not just staying with it and going with that. I think that's probably something that I would definitely do differently. Like, yeah. I-
Absolutely. Yes. Thank
yeah.
you for sharing that because, sometimes when we reach out for help, depending on where our headspace is about the whole process or how we're even feeling about the idea of asking for help, can really shift how we might show up in the beginning of the process. And that's one of the gifts actually that I love about this journey is that a lot of times people are focused on all the negative aspects about having to study and pass the test. But we don't talk enough about the benefits. And one of them is some of the personal development and growth that comes along with this
Mhm.
process, like being able to use your support system, learning how to ask for help, setting boundaries, saying no. These are all the things we have to do during this process to really make it work. And so those are all things you took away, which is fantastic. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. So, what would you tell someone who is thinking about starting the program, or maybe they're, you know what? No, let's talk to someone who has started the program and maybe they're super overwhelmed with the process and they're maybe even doubting, like, is this going to work for me? Is this snowball thing, is this whole thing really going to do it?
Mhm.
What would you tell them?
I'd say yes, I believe it will. And if you don't try, you'll never know, right? You should try it. If something seems weird or something doesn't work for you, then just talk about it, ask about it, and go about it that way. I think this method can definitely help. It can give a lot of structure. You have someone, cheerleading you on throughout the way. You have someone that can be with you, talk you through it during the hard times, which is very helpful. So I think those things can definitely be a big help along the journey. So yeah, try it out. I think it can help.
Yeah, absolutely. And also for anyone out there who's new to the program or considering, know that it's normal to be
Mhm.
overwhelmed. It's normal to doubt. All of that is par for the course. And
Mhm.
we are here to help you through all of that. Just stick with it and we will get you across the line. So thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that. So I just have one other question.
Yeah, sure,
It's
sure.
been a couple, 4 months or so, 3 months, 4 months
Almost at
since
March.
yeah,
Yeah,
4 months.
yep. Hmm.
Wow, 4 months since you passed the test. What have you been doing with yourself? For both, for fun. Also, has anything changed professionally for you? How has that changed now that you are all official and can sign your own notes and everything? So tell us.
Absolutely. So I'm not studying anymore, and that's a really awesome thing. I got a lot of my time back during the day, so Um, that was great. During that first week or so, there was, I was able to implement, I went out to dinner a couple of times. I celebrated with my family, which was really
Oh,
amazing.
yes.
A lot of people knew, and there was a lot of congratulations. I guess they saw the turmoil I was in, so that was amazing. Um, and now, absolutely, I am completely independent. I do not need anybody to sign my notes. I don't need to meet with the clinical supervisor at all, which is great. I get that hour back of time. I myself will hopefully in the near future, I think I got the position I want. I will be a clinical supervisor, which will be
Oh,
great. That's right. I can flip it, which is amazing, which is something I wanted to do and felt capable of doing, but couldn't do it legally because I just didn't have the pass. Um,
yeah.
so that is something that I can do now. I can definitely do. And I applied for it and it's looking good. And so, yeah, just career change, complete career, more money. That's a big
Oh,
thing.
God,
Definitely
we love
more money,
that.
more and more money. I'm paneled with an insurance company now. So I'm doing it myself, which is great. I don't need to be under somebody. Um, so there's a lot of benefits, so many benefits to doing it.
Mm.
So many benefits.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you didn't give up.
Me
Look at your
too.
life now. Money, promotions coming. It hasn't even been 6 months, and we're talking about promotions.
I was
You
running
know,
halfway to pass that exam. I ran. I said, okay, let's go.
yeah, absolutely. More time with your family,
Yeah.
your evenings, having your evenings back. Oh God, that is the greatest gift of all, honestly. Because
Yes,
time is the most precious resource that we have.
absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. So nice not to have to think about, studying and getting your time back and all the things that come with it, for sure.
Amazing. So
So
now that you're free from the EPPP, we just wish you so much fulfillment and prosperity and
thank
loads
you.
of fun in your
Thank
life.
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the help that you gave.